I am the only one in here, so apparently I'm wrong.
You're usually wrong.
Hey, that's the way the cookie goes.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
He's 216, right?
This is 217. Where's everybody?
We're over there.
I know, but didn't remember when I told you?
Oh,
like,
yeah, you did, didn't you? What the shit? Oh, wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Also on Tuesdays and Thursdays we meet over here. And then Mondays, Wednesdays. No, Tuesdays, Thursdays we meet here. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays we meet over here.
with me? Afternoons?
One and two days. Right now. So Tuesdays and Thursdays in the afternoon, we meet at 217. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is when we meet at 216.
Yeah, just if you're in the afternoons, if you're coming in to have class with me, then we'll meet in 217.
Okay.
I'm not going to be over there at all.
Okay.
Except there is one robot over there that I'm trying to get hooked up. So, Virginia,
Hi.
you didn't feel like coming in today?
I didn't realize that I was supposed to. Can I be on Zoom?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So is Friday the day we're going into campus then?
It is Friday.
Well, yeah, I know, but is this every week we do Friday it's on campus or?
For right now, I don't know.
Okay. Sorry, yeah, the last class, my internet is just totally fucked, or excuse my language, fucked. So I cut out of the last class recording. So oh yeah. not.
It's all good. No, I mean, if you can still hear me, the only reason why I wanted people to come in is so that after we do a little talk here, that people can start working on the robots if they want to. So it's fine.
I will shit. I'm already shitting myself now, so I don't need more shit. Just be sure to put your pants on. Already food. You said I was in that shit mode when you told me that, so I wasn't really paying attention. Sorry.
Wait a minute, that's not what I want.
There we go.
I want this.
Well, it's good to know I didn't miss anything. Who's busting nuts over there? Oh, Beth. My spread food. As long as you're not sitting directly behind me, I don't care. I'm good with pistachio.
Oh, I remember.
What'd you do, Zach?
I remember.
My girlfriend, she was fucking hilarious.
Just gonna respond to it. I'll set up a Google Hangout for like 1 p.m. Sunday. And that way we can.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That's how I got my lab station right now. You can hear me from like across the stand at the other hall. My food administrator offices. My girlfriend is in a high pitch.
I'm not gonna do this. Your speaker is working properly. Why? French toast.
I've always been like that. Yes, that's always been like that.
can't tell because it blends in so well.
Yeah.
Well, Virginia, if you can hear me, we can't hear you. So if you
Can you hear me now?
raise your hand or something. Something weird.
Can you hear me now?
hand. These are virtual.
Do that. Am I out of the way?
Can you hear me now?
I did. One state, 2017. I love the
So Justin pointed out to me that I didn't get the video from Wednesday up on YouTube yet. So when I get done talking here, I'll do that. And it will be, you'll be able to find it in the Google Drive folder. Okay. But apparently I haven't posted it yet, so shame on me.
That's gonna be
Can you hear me now, Zach? Can you
So-
hear me now?
Ladies and gents,
Hey, Zach, can
we
you hear me now?
have 2 working robots of the 4 that we have. I'm trying to get the other 2 running. I've been having issues.
Can you hear me?
See that okay?
Where at the top of the screen?
You can take the bulbs out, just that one bulb.
There.
Kind of hard to read. Well, I can't do that because then you see the robot.
Robot.
Trying to get it so you guys in Virginia.
Can you hear me?
see- Okay, so where are we at on this PowerPoint? Blah, 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 safety, blah, blah. Remember what this thing's called?
The control panel.
Starts
Can
with a
you
T
hear me
and rhymes
now?
with Schmeech pendant. Each pendant.
Zach, can you hear me?
And what is this thing used for?
Robot.
Controlling the robot, writing programs, jogging. The first lab is we're going to be yogging or jogging. I don't know if it's silent J or not.
I'm not good at jogging.
You're not a jogger?
I can't run that fast. I'm like a
Yawn was
I'm like
going
a
to the
mild
world
speed
moves.
walker. Which slide were we on for the thing? 16?
It's just kind of hard to see the robot. Oh, well, I'm done messing with it. Okay. I don't remember which slide we were on. Parts of the display, teach pendant, button, menu maps, jogging the robot. I think we started to go through this and I started to show you how to jog. So,
I think we're on the speed one.
speed one,
Yeah, the one that says,
jog speed. Slide 15.
I believe, or pick one of the two, yeah.
I'm looking at 14 right now. The shift key, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I just powered it on. What do I need to do to start moving the robot?
Make sure the e-stop.
Good. It's not going to move if the e-stops are pushed in.
Right.
So do you notice anything on the teach pendant that's going to show me whether or not I can even move the robot?
Oh, the, fault.
Fault. So how do I, the fault's right here. It says APSH 155 home position not recorded. Ruh-roh.
Record home position, exactly.
I don't know that we need to do that to clear the fault. How do we clear the fault? Remember?
Reset key.
Reset. So,
Yeah, that's number 6.
reset is here. So if I hit the reset, oh, fault didn't go away. Why?
New fault.
Hitting the reset button.
Man switch, oh, that's east.
What does that mean?
Hold it down.
Where's the dead man switch?
Come back.
Yeah. Halfway to press that. Just halfway. Just the tip.
Can't be forward. Just, yeah.
Reset. Oh, there it goes away. We're all green and yellow, so we know we're good. You will know what some of these other things mean later on, but for now, we can go ahead and jog the robot. So I'm going to hit, what do you want me to hit?
Z plus.
This one? What's that going to do?
Raise it up. Raise it.
Which way? Just one joint or all of them?
One joint point.
How do you know that? Because we're in joint mode. So Z plus is joint 3, so 1, 2, 3. What did I just do? What did I do? Hit a button. Of course.
Slide toggles right in here.
Get a mission.
What the hell is?
Slide presentation setting or something.
I don't know. Can you figure this thing out?
Snap. Source. Rotate.
Projector.
Resolution. Lamp.
That's these things.
Okay.
Turn it off, turn it back on.
That's what I'm thinking.
Google it.
She'll get you next week.
Here it goes. You're back.
Thanks, Brenna.
How did you do it?
Round of applause for Brenna.
Bird.
Come on.
I didn't do anything. You just turned it off, turned it back on.
Okay, let's start it over.
All
This
right,
is
so
not
fault-
easy. Dead man switch. Reset, which is right here. Click. Fault goes away, and then if I hit plus Z, oh, I didn't do anything. Why not?
Jog press before shift.
You gotta hit the shift button.
You have to hit shift, which is here, or you can press this one, but I'm already over here with the dead man hand. Shift and then plus Z. And it's moving that joint, right? It's hard for me to see,
Yeah, it's going up.
but it's just that one joint.
Yeah.
Okay.
100% speed.
I will knock it up to 50. Oh, here's a little shortcut for you. This is handy, okay? You see the speed right now is at 50. It was at 5, right? So just by default, when you power it up, it'll be at 5%. If I hit the percentage up, which is this button, it'll go up in 5% increments, okay? But if I hit shift and then up, it'll jump to 50 and then to 100, right? So I'm just going to go to 50 right now. That's enough for me to not get whacked in the back of the head by this thing. Okay, so I'm at 50% plus Z. It moves a little faster. So what if I hit Y? What is that? Which joint's that going to do? Y would be joint 2, so this one. So there's Y. And then here's X. Rotate it left and right. And then yaw. So these X, Y, and Z should be yaw, pitch, and roll. And let's just keep working your way out on each joint. So yaw, this one, pitch, and then roll. So I'll do those one at a time. Yaw, pitch, roll. So that's jogging in joint mode. You remember what world mode is? It moves all the joints simultaneously. So we're going on the Cartesian coordinate axis. So plus X, if you remember, is where, I remember it by where the cords plug into the back of the robot. So this is plus X. Y is going to be this way, and then Z is going to be straight up and down. So I'll just show you those real quick. I'm going to change it to a different mode to do that. You hit the coordinates button down here, and you'll see the mode change, jog form, world. So when I do that, if I hit plus Z, and I'm at 10%, so I'm going to bump it up to 50%. I got to figure out a way to do this so I'm not in the way of the camera and you guys. But, all right, here's plus Z. Whoop. That's not it. There you go. You see how it keeps the tool straight up and down? So it's moving as many joints as it needs to keep that tool oriented the same way. So then Y would be this way. If I hit minus X, it's going to go straight in towards the whiteboard. See that? One thing you guys may run into is this joint right here will not spin 360 degrees and then keep going. So if you run into a fault where you're like trying to get it to go that way and it stops, watch, it's rotating this thing as I go in the minus direction. You might run into a joint or a problem, an error where that joint gets hung up right there. That's why. So you just have to rotate it all the way around. The other thing you got to keep an eye on is this, so that those things don't get ripped off if you're swinging that thing all the way around. So that's world view. The first lab jog with joint and world views. Easy enough. And so you should have enough information by now to do that. Let me see. Lab 2. Move an object. And that is going to be getting into programming, which we haven't talked about yet. Okay. So we talked about, I'm on slide 15. We talked about jog speed, coordinate system, minor axis wrist jogging. So that is the yaw, pitch, and roll, right? I didn't tell you about fine and V fine on the speed, the jog speed, this percentage up here. If I keep going down, 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 we go 5 and then 3, 2, 1, fine, very fine, very fine.
That you were very fine.
Thank you. You're going to use this if you want something to be really precise. So let's say I wanted to pick this cap up and then put it on this pencil. I might go like 50% over to here, 5% down, and stop, and then do another point that's very fine, so it slowly goes down there, because this thing might not sit exactly straight the whole time, right? And you're going to do some labs like on these pieces of paper. We got some dry erase markers where you'll have one program that is trace this outside rectangle. Okay, and so when you're jogging, if I jog from here to here, depending on how this thing is oriented on the table, if I go in the plus, let's say this is oriented, so this is the plus Y direction, that's great. It should go pretty close to there if I jog it over this point. But if this thing's oriented like this on the table, I might have to do this and then straight down, right? Just to get to this one point. And then, as I'm bringing the marker down, you might want this thing to have a really fine control where it hits right on that corner. So that's just another thing to keep in mind when you're using jog mode. When you're putting the points into the program, which we're going to talk about next, you actually put into each specified point which motion you want it to get there and how fast. Yeah, there's a couple other things. So you will define that in your program, so every time it goes to that point, you're going to tell it, I want you to go to this point, and I want you to do it fast, or I want you to do it very fast, okay? Follow? The other coordinate system that we're going to talk about later on is tool.
So we've got world frame, jog form, or jog frame and user, which you can play around with the other ones, but I think you're going to find that world is the best way to create your programs. Blah, 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 blah. Go through joint mode, XYZ mode. You guys have the PowerPoint open. On slide 31, see how it says teaching pick place points? Teaching is the word that they use when you're actually writing a program. So I want you, robot, to go from this point to this point. You're going to teach it that next point. Anyway. But you can see on that diagram how you have an approach point, so you can have the robot go really fast over the top of the conveyor, rapidly go down, and then in slower motion or fine movement, you can go down nice and gently to pick up the whatever the object is that's on the conveyor. Motion instruction. All right, now that we're getting into this, you really need to know how to create a program. So why don't I just tell you that? To get to the programs, you're going to hit this menu button. No, you're not. You're going to hit select. These are all the programs that are in there. Main program, Mark 5, blah, blah, blah. I'll probably have to go through and delete some of these because we don't have so much memory. But create is F2. So these are called soft keys. Whoops. This is not a touch screen. It doesn't recognize when I do that. So right now, these F1 through F5 are associated with these soft key buttons up here. So I'm going to hit create. Can you guys read that on the screen where it says create? Okay, because I can't read it just looking at this. But I think it's F2, right? This one?
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit F2. I'm going to give it a name. It gives us options down here. You can have words, and this is just telling you what you're going to get on the soft keys. So I got words, and right now it shows program made, sub, and test. So if I hit F1, it's going to say PRG. Okay? And then if I want to put in some uppercase letters, I'll select that. And then down here, it's kind of like, do you ever have a flip phone where you use the buttons to text? So if I want to call this program, whatever, H, so I hit that twice, and then W, S, T, U, V, W, and F. A, B, C, D, E, F. Program HWF. You know what that stands for?
Program homework fund.
Yeah, me neither. Okay. Whoa. Enter. Now we're at the point where we can teach points. So if I wanted to record the first point being exactly where that robot is right now, I would press, there you go. Oh, you gotta hit the edit button. Now we're in the programming, okay? So it tells you what the name of the program is up here, and this is what it looks like when you start putting in points. So I have some options down here at the bottom. Point, touch up, and then you see this little arrow over here. Hit the next key, and I also have instructions and E, D, C, and D, which are some other helpful things that I'll show you later. So I'm going to go previous. Where is it at? I'm going to put a point. So I'll hit point. So I'm going to teach it that point that it's at right now, which, by the way, if you ever want to see where is that point at right now, relative, it's always the default home position, or 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, is right in the middle of this joint. So inside where I can't even put my finger in there, right in the middle of this joint right here, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So if I wanted this thing to be at, I don't remember if it's inches or millimeters, but let's say it's inches, and I typed in there, you can do this by the way, 10, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. It will home everything to 0, but it will be plus 10 inches of the x-axis. Does that make sense? So if I want to see exactly what those points are, I can hit down here at the bottom, there's this position key, and that will show you, right now we're at x minus 46, which actually must be millimeters. It's the x direction if we're 4.6 or 46 millimeters. I don't know. Unless somebody zeroed it out somewhere else. Let me see if I jog this in the plus x direction though. That moves.
Get moving, it's verifying.
Oh. See the x moving?
Yeah.
All right. I want to get back to 0 and see where that's at. That's pretty close to 0. Yeah, I guess that is pretty close to there. I just don't remember. Anyway, this is not important, but this will show you exactly where all these things are, or where that thing is relative to the 0 point. So, okay, I want to go back to my shortcut to get back to your program. I hit select, and there's my program H homework fun. Enter. I still have not recorded a point. So if I want to put this point in there exactly how it is, remember it, that includes yaw, pitch, and roll. However I want it, exactly how it is, I hit point. Now it's going to say some more options. Let me zoom in here. It's going to say, hey, bro, you want to put this in as a joint, point number whatever at 100% fine, or do you want to do C, which is a circular motion? We'll do that later on. Or do you want a linear point, or do you want a linear point at this speed? That's what those options mean. Don't worry about circle right now, but right now we're going to talk about joint versus linear. All that means is that if the robot is, say the arm is out here, and I run this program, it's going to highlight this first point. Remember where it's at right now? It's going to get from here to there somehow. And what you're telling it with linear is you want it to go wherever the end of the tool is in a straight line to that point. So if I'm over here with the tool and I tell it to go there in a linear motion, can it do it? No, because it's going to say, hey, bro, I can't go through the machine. It's going to give you an error. Joint, though, will use whatever is most efficient in joint movements for it to get from this point to there. Does that make sense? So it's kind of random. The robot gets to decide exactly how it wants to move there. So if it's unimportant how you get from there, from this point to there, you just put joint. So that's what I'm going to choose. Enter, and there's your first point. Now I'm going to jog, and let's say I want to go pick up that 10. So I'm going to jog it. I'm in world. Where did I go? I'm in world. Over to that point. So I'm going to go plus X to get it this way, plus Y to get it that way. I guess that's minus Y. I don't know if we're going to be able to reach that or not, but we're sure as heck going to try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're getting close.
And by the way, in a program that I'm writing, I will put the thing exactly like over the pen, and then I'll raise it up to record that point. Does that make sense? So instead of guessing, am I right on top of that thing? I'll put it right around the pen and then lift it up and record that point. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bump the speed down. All right. Next thing is, I don't have the air hooked up to this, but we'll do instructions on Monday. Right now, I just want to show you. But you would put an instruction in there that says close the lid. But I haven't even recorded this point yet. So all I have right now is the 1 point. And then I want it to go from that first position to right here. So I'm going to hit point. Why did it give me no option to, oh, okay. Since I hit shift point, it just copied the motion instruction and all that from the one before, which I'm fine with. But in this next one, we probably want it to go in a linear instruction, right? So it doesn't do some weird, and say like on your rectangle lab, when you're drawing the rectangle, you don't want it to go from point A to point B, however it decides it wants to, because it might do some weird shit, right? So you want to tell it linear from here to here so it just moves in a straight line. So I just recorded that one. I'm going to go down now. So minus Z. And then I'll record this point. So I'm going to let go of shift. I'm going to hit point, and I'm going to tell it to go linear. That speed is fine, I guess. You can always go back if you don't like something and change it by doing this. Right now we have 3 points recorded. So here's how you run a program. Right now I'm just going to jog it up and out of the way so you can see it move to those 3 points on its own. So I'm going to bump the speed up. Go plus Z. So it's just in a random place. To get it to run a program, you have to hold the shift button down. And remember, I went back up to point number 1. If I started here, it would just take off on that program wherever that point is. Okay, so I'm going to go back to 1. I'm going to hit shift and then forward, which is right here. This will run the program. And you can watch the robot and the screen. It will go through to each point and put the robot where it's supposed to be. So the other thing is you have to keep holding the shift button down. This is just in program mode. So like, remember the key switch that's on the controller? If you go through and write this big long program where it's just doing its thing for you, let's say you want it to write Brenna's name over and over and over on a piece of paper, you write that program and then have it repeat itself. There's another way to do that. And then that key switch allows you to start that program and it'll just keep going forever and ever and ever. But right now when we're in this program mode, it's just going to run through till it gets to the end of the program and stop. Okay, so here goes. Shift forward. Ready? So now it's going to go to that first point. Now it's going to go to the second point. And then it's going to go straight down and stop. So that's your program that you just put. 10-4? All right. Monday we'll talk about putting an instruction in the program. So that would be the next step for, say, Lab 2, where you're going to write a program that does what I just did, but it's going to pick up that pen and then move it to another location. Follow? All right. Good class. come at me like that. Virginia, we still can't hear you, but that's it. See you Monday in here at 1. Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. Oh, you got it. Okay, thanks. Have a good weekend. Going after it?
Yeah.
Do your thing. Does anybody else want to do one?
Yeah.
Let me stop recording before you do that.